Dwane Cates, great criminal defense attorney out in Arizona, joining us again tonight. Dwane, how does that conversation make Tammy Smith look in the eyes of this jury? Does it make her look like someone who is desperate, who would stop at nothing to get this child? Or does it sound like a caring mom who's trying to build a beautiful family?
Well, most of the conversations that were played in court yesterday, and almost all the tapes that were played in court yesterday, made Tammy Smith sound like she's a nice person. She's just trying to help. And at one point, she even specifically says, there's no way that I would try to take a baby away from parents and people that love him. She thought that the baby was going to bad people, and when she talked to Logan, she said, I'm not trying to take him away from you. You can come see him anytime you want.
Yeah, that's nice of her to allow the child's father to see the child whenever he wants. This is going to be interesting because she has committed through her attorney to take the stand. So we'll see if it's the same Tammy Smith that comes out on the stand or if something else happens during cross-examination. Now, there was a recording that was played that I think makes Tammy and her husband Jack Smith look really bad. Again, it's not the words of Tammy Smith. This is a conversation Logan McQuarrie's having with Jack Smith, her husband, who also wants this child. And here he talks about the fact that Logan McQuarrie, baby Gabe's dad, happens to live in a trailer park. Take a listen.
Our idea is to give a wonderful life to a wonderful child that could otherwise, you know, and again, I don't know what your situation is. I know what her situation is. If I were you, I certainly wouldn't want my son, again, I hope this is not racial profiling here, but I wouldn't want my son growing up in a trailer park. You know what I'm saying? Are you there? Okay. And again, I don't mean that to be disrespectful to it, because I'm sure there's a lot of loving people that just don't have any alternative.
I don't mean to be disrespectful, but it absolutely is. Absolutely is, at least in my opinion. And I think there could be some jurors that could be offended by this. What was the did we see any reaction, Beth Karras, inside that courtroom during the playing of this conversation, where basically Jack Smith is saying, hey, you know what, you're in a trailer park, I got this beautiful home, we've got, you know, things that you can't provide to this child?
Well, I didn't see reaction from the jury. That doesn't mean jurors didn't feel anything, but on redirect, the prosecutor stood up and asked Logan McQuarrie specifically about that particular part of the conversation and asked him how he felt when he heard it. And he said to the jury, I was offended because it's all about parenting and parenting skills and the individuals who are raising a child, not the kind of structure they live in, where they live. So that may have resonated with some jurors.
Dwane, what do you think about this issue? Because I think it could be a real problem for Tammy Smith if her husband is talking about, hey, you don't want to raise a child in a trailer park. I mean, a child wants to be with their mom and their dad. That's who they want to be with. I mean, that's the bottom line. We know that. And it has, you know, something really bad has to happen to take a child away from their parent, and something really bad for a child to not want to be with that parent. And here's Jack Smith, you know, he's got the big house in Scottsdale, Arizona, you know, all that money he made in Nashville, making music, etc., trying to basically, you know, buy a baby. That's what it kind of sounds like in this conversation. That, listen, I got money, you don't, I should have the baby.
I think it's really, really a good thing that Jack Smith isn't on trial here and that Tammy Smith is, because Tammy Smith comes off a lot better than Jack does in these conversations. And I was sitting in the courtroom when they played that, and I knew as soon as I heard that trailer park comment that was going to become an issue in this case, and that it was going to offend some people. Whether it offended the juries or not, we're going to have to see. But I knew when that came out that that was going to be played, was going to get a lot of airtime on the television.
Yeah, and I think it may get some airtime in the jury room when it's time to deliberate. Dwane Cates, Beth Karras, thank you both so much. A great way.